Hey everyone, welcome to another video on Facts from Arden. From lost colonies to forgotten empires, here are 6 civilizations that vanished without a trace. Number 6, the Indus Valley Civilization. Let's start with one of history's biggest head-scratchers. Over 4,000 years ago, somewhere around 2800 BC, a civilization emerged in the Indus River Valley, what's now Pakistan and northwest India. This wasn't just any settlement. This was an empire. The Indus people flourished. They built massive cities laid out in grids with advanced plumbing systems and grand public works. They had large trading networks that stretched to Mesopotamia and even East Africa. They developed their own unique writing system, though we haven't been able to decipher it yet. And somehow, despite being largely non-violent, they managed to survive for centuries without being conquered. But between 1900 and 1700 BC, it all came crashing down. The cities were abandoned, the trade routes went cold, and the great civilization of the Indus seemingly vanished overnight. So why did it collapse? Some historians point to climate change. A long drought may have caused crop failures and forced people to abandon their homes in search of better lands. Others blame overpopulation or a devastating earthquake. But there's also evidence of large-scale migration during this time period. Could it be that the Indus people didn't disappear but simply moved somewhere else? One intriguing theory suggests that they fled to East Africa, where they may have become the ancestors of modern Somalis. Now that would be one heck of a journey. Number 5, the Anasazi. Next, let's turn our attention to North America and the great cliff dwellers of the American Southwest. These people were the Anasazi, or as some prefer, the ancestral Puebloans. Between 550 and 1300 CE, they built massive dwellings into the sides of cliffs and canyons. Places like Mesa Verde are astonishing feats of engineering and cultural achievement. But around 1300 CE, the Anasazi abruptly packed up and left. Their settlements were completely abandoned. The majority of archaeologists agree that severe drought was the main culprit behind their disappearance. If that's true, why are some stories a little more sinister? According to legend, when the Anasazi were driven from their homes, they didn't go quietly. They fought back against the invading Hopi people with powerful magic, turning their enemies into frogs and toads. Number 4, the Olmecs. Now let's travel to Mesoamerica and meet the Olmec civilization. They lived along the Gulf Coast of what's now Mexico and are considered to be the mother culture of the region. Why is that? Well, because many of the later Mesoamerican cultures like the Maya and the Aztec adopted many of the Olmec's customs, religion and art. But perhaps their most famous creations are the giant stone heads that have been found across the landscape. These colossal sculptures are truly awe-inspiring. They weigh several tons and are remarkably precise. But who exactly they represent is a total mystery. Researchers don't know if they were meant to be portraits of Olmec rulers or gods, and we don't know why the Olmecs suddenly vanished around 400 BCE. One theory suggests that their society simply collapsed due to internal strife. Another idea holds that they were absorbed into the neighboring cultures and basically became the Maya. It's hard to say for sure because the Olmec people left no written records behind. Number 3, the lost colony of Roanoke. For number 3, let's return to North America and the infamous tale of the lost colony of Roanoke. This is a story that every kid learns in school. In 1587, a group of 115 English settlers arrived on the coast of what's now North Carolina. They built a fort and tried to establish a permanent English presence in the New World. But when a supply ship arrived the following year, the settlement was deserted. The only clue to what happened was the word Croatoan carved into a post. This single word has spawned endless speculation. Where did the settlers go? Were they attacked and killed by the native tribes? Did they assimilate into the local population? Or was there something more sinister afoot? Some say the settlers were cursed, and that curse continues to this very day. There's a similar mystery surrounding the nearby town of Nag's Head, North Carolina. Why does it seem to swallow ships and airplanes whole? Is it haunted by the ghosts of Roanoke? No one knows for sure. Number 2. The Mayan collapse. Now let's talk about one of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world, the Maya. For centuries, they flourished in Mesoamerica. They had impressive cities, an accurate calendar system, advanced mathematics, and a deep understanding of astronomy. But around the 9th century CE, the Maya mysteriously abandoned their cities. Tikal, one of their greatest metropolis, was home to over 100,000 people, but it was completely deserted by the year 900. Now, that's a ghost town, if ever there was one. Some historians believe that drought and famine forced the Maya to flee. Others blame warfare with rival city-states. But it may be that neither of these theories is correct. Instead, the Maya may have simply migrated further south and became the ancestors of modern-day Guatemalans and other Mesoamerican populations. After all, the Maya did have a tradition of building new cities after their old ones wore out. Could this have been just another case of Maya urban renewal? And number 1, the Rapa Nui. Finally, let's cross the ocean to the remote island of Easter. This is the island of Pascua, and its most famous residents are the Rapa Nui, also known as the Chileans. The name you're probably more familiar with is the Easter Islanders, because this is where they built the iconic moai. These monolithic statues are famous all over the world. Some stand over 33 feet tall and weigh 14 tons. The Rapa Nui created nearly 1,000 of these statues, but they kept secret how they moved them. For centuries, scholars argued over how the isolated islanders managed to transport such heavy statues across the rugged terrain. But now researchers believe they have the answer. Apparently, the Rapa Nui used ropes, levers, and pure human strength to get the job done. But while the moai are impressive, the island's population is a bit of a mystery. Today, there are only about 7,750 people living on Pascua, a tiny fraction of their ancestors' population. What happened to the rest of them? Some think that deforestation caused by European settlers led to mass starvation. Others blame European diseases brought over by sailors, which devastated the native population. But the truth is, no one knows for sure. All of these lost civilizations are a reminder that nothing lasts forever, not even the greatest empires. The question is, could the same forces that destroyed them still threaten us today? Climate change, war, disease, poverty, none of these are new. Throughout history, they've shaped civilizations and pushed entire nations to the brink. The past isn't truly gone, it's always with us, whether we remember it or not. That's why it's so important to learn from history and make sure these mistakes never repeat themselves. Thanks for watching. Which civilization fascinated you the most? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.